Hello everyone. Let's talk about the critical review you have to do this class, also known as a critique or a review. First, go to Content, then Critical Review Paper. The OL stands for Online. It offers you a description of the assignment explaining that society sends us cultural messages in a million different ways. And so we're going to explore the cultural messages conveyed by a particular form of media. Now, for those of you who already have a clear goal in mind for your education and for your vocation, you could tailor this assignment to your particular goals with pre-approval from me. For instance, if you're in special education and you want to review the skills of or the quality of special education at a particular educational institution, you could do that. Or you could choose to follow your interests. For instance, you might want to do a critical review of a restaurant or a video game, an album, or a television show. It's up to you. As you can see, there are multiple elements to this assignment. One of the main reasons we designed this assignment is to teach people to critically consume media. So many people view television shows, video games, and listen to music without critically analyzing what that particular media says about society and themselves. So the whole idea is to explore the media you are analyzing with critical depth, and also to examine what it has to say about your spiritual lives. For instance, there are many shows I wouldn't ask Jesus to sit down next to me and watch. Or if I did, I would do so with the understanding he wouldn't be a fan, and explore why that would be the case and what that means about my viewing of that particular media. For this assignment, you'll need to do pre-writing. As part of that pre-writing, you're going to summarize the media you're going to evaluate in one paragraph with a description only. For more ideas on how to improve your summary, read the first chapter of our textbook, What It Takes, which is about summarizing. The second step of pre-writing is to summarize the media you're going to evaluate in one or two sentences using an evaluative statement. In other words, you're not going to tell me just what it's about. You're also going to tell me how you critically interpret that particular piece of media. The last piece of the pre-writing assignment is to select an evaluative tool for evaluating the media you've selected. You would conduct an online search along the lines of how to write a review of whatever it is you're trying to review. And here is an example from Wiki on how to write a video game review. Then you need to use that guide to write your critique or review and include that link when you submit your final paper. The format for your paper, as described below, is to evaluate the media itself in a review that is 2 to 4 pages in length. You need to have a specific target audience and publication for your review. For instance, are you going to publish it in a video game magazine? Are you going to send it to the Papyrus, Greenville College's online newspaper? You could also look at submitting it to a newspaper from another source. Notice that there is a requirement to follow the review criteria selected by the student. So you would have to follow the criteria chosen for this video game review. You have to follow through on using whatever evaluative source you found for the pre-writing assignment in the writing of the paper itself. You also need to have direct, which means evidence from the media you watched, and secondary support for the claims made in the review. That would mean that you would need to find other reviews or evaluations of the same media. Here you need to incorporate documentation. That means that if the publication you have selected uses Chicago style, you need Chicago style. If it uses MLA, you need to use MLA. On the other hand, if it is a psychological journey, you may need to use APA. Whatever the requirements are for that specific publication, you need to use that documentation. The advice here is to be clear, concrete, grammatically correct, well organized, and well supported. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I will note that these are a few things you might consider while exploring and writing this paper. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope this overview of the assignment was helpful to you. Thank you.